Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are taking a look at the Tier 5 Premium Italian Battleship, and good lord help me try to pronounce this, I'm so bad with names. Julio Cesare? Caesar? I'll just go with Caesar. Julio Cesar. We are playing on a big race. There's a Langley, Julio, 2 Orions, Miyogi, Furuta, Kirov, Dugway, Minikaze, Pavelski, Clemson, and a V170. On the enemy team, there's a Langley, Texas, 2 Orions, Kaiser, Emil Burton, Furutaka, Kaoru, Fusion, Grimanoshki, and 2 V170s. And I have to say, I really do like this battleship. It's a good battleship. Definitely not as overpowered as it used to be. They have reduced the Sigma value as well as the overall dispersion. Oh my word. I've seen videos of its dispersion, but even after the reduction of the Sigma value, it's still pretty good. First salvo, Kaoru, not too bad. 5 over penetrations netted us around 4,850, and probably should have mentioned we are playing on Epicenter, so that is something to keep in mind. And there is at least 4 destroyers, and they are going to be around us quite a bit. So Kaoru, let's see, no one really is inside. There is a V170 coming our way. Shots off on that Kaoru. We'll see if we'll get lucky. Now, V170 is coming our direction, and shells look pretty good. 2 citadels, and we earn First Blood and Devastating Strike. V170 really has its hopes and dreams on getting those frontal torpedoes off against the cruiser. I don't know who he is aiming at, but yeah, don't really know. Unfortunately lost sight, but salvo out. And still get pretty good penetration. Now the guns on the Julio is a little bit smaller than, say, the USN or even the IGN guns, so you do have to be aware of that. They won't pack as big of a punch, but they still pack pretty decent punch. You still can get citadels against other battleships. Now, obviously, there are quite a few destroyers around. We just saw the Grimanoshki over just to the northwest of us, and obviously there's a Fusion, and I think the V170 did go down. It looks like our friendly destroyers are trying their best to take out any of the enemy destroyers, and I go ahead and switch over to the HE to deal with any destroyers. And look at this. Look, this is one thing I like about the Julio, is her nimbleness in the waters. She's quick. She can get up to around 27 knots. Rudder shift time is 13 seconds. Turning circle radius is not as good as obviously the Texas at 640 meters versus 600. And I'm kind of surprised the CV didn't go after me. Kind of rather odd choice. Now we are being detected, and I am trying to push against the Pavelski, but I do switch my attention over to the Fusion, and unfortunately I've just lost our V170, and we also lost our Minikaze, which is just, things are not going so well for us. So hopefully we can survive this. Oh, there's the enemy carrier right there. There is also the Texas and the Grimanoshki, and we have just lost our Minikaze. Okay, things are not looking good. We are being detected. I'm actually trying to figure out who's hard spotting us. Might be the Texas. Now, I do have HE loaded, and I am slowing up because there is a Grimanoshki and a Fusion just around that corner, and I do not want to get torpedoed. Does seem like the speed on slowing down is not too bad. AA's decent, well, at least decent compared to a tier 4 carrier. I mean, we have shot down 5 blades, so overall not too bad, but would not recommend going up against tier 7 CVs. They will definitely eat you alive. The secondaries are Well, I mean, honestly, they're not the greatest. There's only about 10 secondaries. You have a mixture of AP and HE. So there's that, but once again, not something I would highly recommend. Now, one thing I will have to say, especially with this fusion, I should have held my fire, but I didn't know if he was going to come out, and that's the big thing, is that the Julio does not have any spotter craft, so there's no way you can pop it and get additional range, or better yet, actually spotting what this fusion is doing. So I do go ahead and open up on this Texas. Now, one little side note is I wish you would be able to control which turret, or better yet, which set of two you could fire, because when you hold down the left mouse button, you can fire individually, but it's always the first turret, second turret, third turret, fourth turret, etc. And I kind of wish there was a way where you could toggle which turret fires first, because in an instance like this, it'd be nice to, well, instance against that fusion, it would have been nice to actually fire the back turrets at the Texas and the front turrets at the fusion, but whatever. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Damage wise, we're not doing too bad. 45,000. Enemy team is doing a decent job holding off against our friendly team up north, but I mean, it is actually a fairly close battle as far as a tier 5 battle is concerned. Overall, not too bad. Now, once again, will say you can get citadels. There we only got 4 penetrations, did about 10,000 points of damage, but you can get citadels against other same tier battleships, so do use that to your advantage. Now, Emil Bertin, honestly, I would have thought would have been able to take down this Emil Bertin, but we'll see. Pavoski does take down the enemy CV, which does allow our CV to be the dominant air force in the sky, so we no longer have to worry about planes. And Traverse is pretty decent. I will have to say, overall, this ship's pretty good, and would recommend for the most part. Emil Bertin does take out our Kirov, and RNG just really hates me, because for the past 2 salvos against this Emil Bertin, I get over penetrations, and this salvo, yep, a citadel, and well, at least we got rid of the Emil Bertin. Now we are somewhat close to Texas, but this Texas is going to have a really bad day. And keep in mind, Texas has really good A. But he does go down to the Clemson, and I believe the CV also assisted as well. Now there is a V170 that has just capped out the middle, as well as the starting to cap out the sides. So shots off against him, as well as the enemy battleship back there. Actually, I'm kind of curious. I don't think anyone else fired against that enemy Kaiser. How do you lose that much health? Huh. I don't know. I'm going to have to actually watch that again. So, at the moment, we do have at least an advantage with the air superiority. However, there is still a destroyer lying about. Obviously, he is somewhere in the middle region on the northeast side. The Kaiser is very low in health, but my main concern is going to be that destroyer first, and then the Kaiser. And honestly, I should have just focused down the Kaiser. Shots off against the Kaiser. And unfortunately, the salvo was shut off kind of last minute. We only get 3 over penetrations and earn Confederate, so not too bad. I do switch over to HE because I am expecting that the V170 is going to be around here somewhere. And I really do not want to get jumped by him, and I want to have at least HE loaded to deal a fairly significant amount of damage. Because I will have to say, the HE is pretty decent. But unfortunately, I really wish I had AP loaded right here. Kaiser still selling broadsides, still selling in a straight line, and wow, that dispersion sucked. Who's he aiming at? Oh my gosh. Holy crap, he was aiming at me. Wow. Okay, V-170 is charging out. Once again, hoping to achieve the German destroyer dream of using his frontal torps to take down a battleship. Yeah, that I will have to say he had guts. Probably not the smartest move. Honestly, he should have tried to stay alive a little bit longer. Used his range of torpedoes a little bit more so. But yeah, does go down, and so close to a Kraken. We are 2 ships away, and there is goody. There's 2 ships still left on the enemy team, and did he? I think he followed the target indicator there, because I don't think I would have ran aground. The guns are reloaded. Can we kill this Kaiser? Get kill number 4? No, unfortunately we can't. Miyogi does take it, and unfortunately for us, the Miyogi gets actually really good dispersion or something, and actually gets a hit and kill on the enemy Kaiser, but salvo off against the Ryan. We'll see if we get lucky. Once again, the guns are decent, even though they were nerfed with the dispersion. They still perform fairly well. You will still have those random battleship dispersion, RNG, you know, giveth, RG taketh. So that's, I guess, fairly normal to expect, but not too bad. I will have to say the armor layout is at times can be finicky. I haven't had too big of issues. Once again, I will have to mention I've only had one battle against tier 7. So you do have to be obviously well aware that tier 7 probably and will overmatch your bow armor, as well as just downright citadel you. So now all that's left on this enemy team is the enemy Orion, and I have 2 options. I can either head north, or we could head east and try to cut him off. At the moment, we have no idea. The friendly Langley is trying to get his planes out as quickly as possible, but until he can get within the air detection range, we have no way of knowing. This Orion obviously doesn't have much left as far as options he can actually do, but he's gonna play the waiting game and I guess try to survive. Now, downsides, torpedo protection is pretty low. The main health pool is kind of low. It's not the greatest for sure. AA is pretty weak. It's obviously fairly okay against tier 4, but overall not the greatest. And look at that, high caliber, 11,000, leaving at 675, and the Ryan's going, and the CB is going to get the kill. So our team earned a victory, brought home 394,604 silver, 4,584 XP. We earned Confederate Devastating Strike, First Blood, and High Caliber. Damage, not too bad. Not too bad for a tier 5. 101,815 points of damage, 59 shell hits, 9 plane shutdowns, 3 kills, 6 fires, 3 citadels, 1 defended base capture, 1 assisted base capture, and 1 captured base with 3 secondary hits. So overall, not too bad. I will have to give a shout out to Brandon, who did allow me to get on his account to actually try out the ship, because unfortunately I obviously do not own the ship. But I really wanted to try it because I like the Duca quite a bit. So he allowed me to try the Julio. And with the new upcoming Italian battleship that's coming out, I've seen pictures of it, and I really think it's sexy. I really like the look of Italian ships so far. They look really sexy. So sexy. Base XP 1,971. damage wise, kind of around the 20,000 range. Wasn't a particular ship we did a significant amount of damage to, but overall not too bad. Main guns, 90,154. High explosive did around 19,744. Armor piercing did around 77,410, and fires did around 4,166. So overall not too bad. Definitely like this ship. I really recommend it. If I could, I would get it, but unfortunately I cannot. But anyways, we're gonna quickly jump into port. We're gonna take a quick look at the stats, and that's gonna be it. I will see you guys in just a second. Alright everyone, welcome back to the port, and I have to say, I love the ship. This ship is actually really fun. It is a very fun tier 5 battleship, and I very much regret not purchasing her, but unfortunately just due to the financial situation I was in, I could not. But I was gracious enough, or better yet, Brandon, whose account I am on, was gracious enough to allow me to actually get on and try out the ship. And yeah, I like this ship. She does have her weaknesses, that's usual. They have definitely nerfed her from what it was in the testing phase. The work in progress phase definitely used to be a lot more powerful. So overall, not a bad ship. Survivability is a little bit low, 45,500 versus say against like the Texas, 49,100. So its health pool isn't the greatest. Its armor is 280 millimeters at the most. Texas obviously has a little bit more. It's a little bit more fragile, but there are other areas where it kind of makes it up. Torpedo belts, 21%. Main guns. This has the unique characteristics of having 2 triple barrel turrets and then 2 dual barrel turrets. So overall, and I have to say, I love seeing the AA guns up on mounts like that. That's really cool looking. Main guns, 30-second reload time, normal for battleships of her tier. HE damage is 4,800. Dispersion at a 16.4 kilometer range is 211 meters. It has a 35% fire chance, so your fire chance is pretty decent. Max AP damage is 9,700, so overall not too bad. And the velocity, yeah, you do have to lead a little bit more, but it's nothing too extravagant, especially these low tier. A lot of ships are going to be moving quite a bit slow, so overall not bad. Secondary guns, you have 4 dual 100 millimeters that fire HE. They have a 6% fire chance. They do 1,500 points of damage, and they have a 4.2 kilometer range. Then you have 6 dual 120 millimeters. They fire AP. It reminds me that it looks like it's wearing a hat. That's what it makes me think when I see this. They reload every 6 seconds, 2,000 points of damage. Obviously, firing AP is not entirely reliable. 4.2 kilometer range, 950 meters per second. So overall, not bad. Have seen a few instances of my secondaries going off, but not overly reliable. AA guns, I mean, they're all right. They're nothing extravagant, but when facing off against the Langley, I did shoot down quite a few planes, considering the captain wasn't spec'd for any of this. You have 8 dual 20 millimeters. Average damage is 27 with a 2 kilometer range. Then you have 6 dual 37 millimeters. Average damage is 70 with a 3.5 kilometer range. And average damage 4 dual 100 millimeters. 26 with a 4 kilometer range. So AA is not reliable, especially if you are up tiered, say against a tier 7 CV. Yeah, you're not gonna have a chance in hell to actually survive that, so do be aware of your AA limitation. Max speed is really nice, 27 knots, obviously compared to the other tier 5s besides the Congo. Second fastest, so overall not too bad. Turn and soak radius is 640 meters, is a little bit bigger than the Texas at 600. Rudder shift time is decent, 13 seconds, but it really comes down to that speed. She feels nimble. She didn't feel sluggish in the water when I was playing her. So overall, that's probably one thing I did like, was her nimbleness and her speed. Detectability range by sea. Captain is obviously not fully spec'd. It's only a 9-point captain, or sorry, 6-point captain. So he's not fully spec'd out. So you can definitely get this a lot lower than what this is. This is fairly stock. 13.3 kilometer range, 9.4 with the range by air. So once you get it, camo included, the concealment expert, it should be definitely fairly nice. Let's move on to modules. Very similar to how other battleships are. Does not have a spotter plane, so that is a downside. Other than that, I think I would, if I had the money, to go back and purchase her. But unfortunately, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So I do recommend it. It is fun, and I do appreciate my friend for allowing me to get on and actually try this out. Highly recommend this ship. Very fun ship. So anyways, this is going to be it for this episode of World of Warships. Thank you guys so much for joining in and watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Side Gen.